So, welcome to Two Dads and Six Daughters. This is our show, our internet show with myself, Tony Scott, and my dude, my brother, Mark Clark.
Tony Scott, ¿qué pasa, señor?
What's up, man?
Yo, man, stay out of that sun.
Am I dark, man? Am I coming off dark, man?
Yeah, man, and this end of summer, man. You got a little tan, got a little round up a bit.
I got a little bit, man. While I was out there today, man, we had like an office picnic. How do you have an office picnic in it's 97 degrees outside, man? I thought I was gonna die.
You love those office picnics.
Yes, I love meeting people, man. Yes,
Tony loves to meet new people.
See, if you watch this and you're not in the St. Louis area, then you know what, that's pretty cool. But if you're from the St. Louis area, you know that I hate you. I hate everybody.
But that's not true, Tony. That's a misnomer. You're a kinder, gentler Tony Scott.
I am, man. I am. See, you caught me when you and I met. That's when I was just getting on antidepressants.
Yeah, you were just off devil mode.
Yeah. So I relinquished my nickname Diablo and moved on to something else. So you've had a pretty good week, man. You got the green light where you're going to be submitting some of your own work on iHeart Talk.
Yeah, iHeartRadio. So
their talk format where you're going to be able to find him and listen to him anywhere you are in the country. So so congratulations on that. Hell, I work for the company and they won't let me in.
Well, if you're listening, go to iHeartRadio, the app, and look under Create Your Station under shows. Mark Clark on the mark. So,
okay, and that works on the app.
Yep.
Okay, because I couldn't figure out how to do it, man. So
and it's weird because maybe they had to update the app because
they just updated it last week.
Because it didn't work on my wife's app, but she must have an older one. Because I hustled to get mine. Like, am I on there? Am I there?
You know what? I was fooling with my wife's iPad, and she had like 43 updates. I'm like, come on, man, you got to click the button once in a while. It's like driving a car. My dad used to say, you ever look under the hood, check the water, check in, the oil. You got to look under the hood once, so you just can't drive it. Right. So, and the other thing for you is like because we didn't do our show last week because you were on a movie set.
Well, yeah, I don't know if that's a good congratulations, Tony. I was just on a movie set. No, there's I subscribe to this list that lists, some extra work, some casting calls and things like that. So I had a few days. So I went on and I can't say what show it was, Tony, but a very popular show. And I did some, just extra stand-in work for a couple days.
So will we see you?
Yes.
Okay. Is it a paid gig?
It is a paid gig. Yes,
good for you, man.
Yeah. So not a lot, just but when you do those, you're just there all day. It's like you
were there like all day and half the night.
Yeah.
Because we talked early and you says I'll let you know at a certain time, and then you go I'll let you know in 2 hours, and then it just like you couldn't do it. Which I mean I understand, but it's like that's to be able to do stuff like that, you have to make quite a commitment.
Yeah, and that's the part that's funny because in your mind you need to, when you go, just plan on being there. Don't think you're gonna do something else that day. That ain't gonna happen. Well, the first one I did, I don't know if you recall the story, Tony. The first one I did was Queen.
Yeah, you were on the other side of the horse, right? The Halle Berry miniseries.
Exactly.
And you were the guy who walked the horse, but you were not. You were on the other side of the horse, so the camera just saw like your legs and the horse. Those are Mark Clark's legs.
And people exclaim, "Who's them skinny legs belong? Who them skinny legs belong to?"
Let that boy have rickets.
The horse was like, "Damn, he got some skinny lower legs."
And then, but then you were an extra on The Wire.
I was an extra on The Wire, and actually, the show was a plot in The Wire, believe it or not.
Yeah, and then I remember watching. Who was the girl gangster? Who was that? What was that girl's name?
Snoop.
When she was talking about the Big Fat Morning Show. You don't listen to the Big Fat Morning Show? 92Q, you don't listen to that? Mark Clark and the Big Fat Morning Show? And I was like, look at Mark, got a mention on it.
But they were trying to take down the New York people who had infiltrated the market.
Right.
So if they didn't know who the Big Fat Morning Show, then they caught one to the dome. So it was The Wire. So, if you didn't know the Big Fat Morning Show, you got shot in the dome.
You got shot. You were executed for not knowing that's juice right there, man.
That's how you get ready.
That and then the story you told me about Skinny Suge out there in Baltimore, man.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll leave that right. We'll leave that right there.
For Skinny Suge, who's still locked up.
But we'll leave that one right there, though.
Yes.
You just say it was a very colorful encounter, and just leave it. We'll leave it right there.
Yes.
All right, because you know I love you and you're my brother, and I don't want nothing to happen to you, man. So how the girls doing, man?
The girls are great. They are enjoying their Sydney and Skylar are now moved into their middle school phase, and so they have a couple auditions. They're taking this. All three of them are taking this acting course.
Yeah.
It's really an agency that will be their management.
Yeah.
And then they get a chance to go before agents.
Oh.
So this is pretty exciting for them. Then this week they actually acted with some kids who were more seasoned than they were, and they got to see the difference.
So how I mean, it's going to happen because it happens to everybody, and I'm talking about, you know, rejection.
Yeah.
So have you talked with Allison about how you guys are going to handle that? Because kids don't take it really well at the beginning, man. Have you talked about that?
Yeah, we had that's a good topic, Tony. So yeah, my oldest Sydney, who dances like Olivia, you know, that kind of dance kind of prepares you because it's very demanding and it's very critical. They're very critical, right? So they start to get tough skin because just like Olivia, she's been dancing since she's 4, so very critical. So Sydney handles it, and I think her sign, you know, and her birth order makes her handle it better. The best, probably. She can take critical critique and also disappointment.
Okay.
Skylar, who also dealt with it, because Skylar, she was Dorothy in the 4th grade
production of The Wiz.
Production of The Wizard of Oz.
The Wizard of Oz.
And so she understands rejection. And then Baby takes Tap. Spencer, she probably will be the most sensitive to it. And so it will be interesting. And again, in this situation, something that's very real is, so they all 3 audition for Disney. Let's say one of them gets it. You know, how do you balance that out? You know
what's going to be harder is if 2 of them get it and one of them don't.
Yeah.
That's going to be the tough one right there.
That would be tough.
You know?
And also, seeing behind the curtain how these kiddie shows work. Did we talk about this already?
No.
I understand how child stars, if your parents aren't stable, easily get derailed. Because recently, Miley Cyrus commented about, don't let your kids go into acting. The company puts you on your back, and you're a kid. You need to have a childhood. You know, I see what happens if you, as a parent, if you don't protect them. So in other words, we were just talking about, you know, the whole process. So let's say they land a Disney show, pays between $20,000 and $40,000 per episode.
Right.
Okay. So which really, and there's 13 episodes. So in the scheme of the big picture, that's not a ton of money. But if you are depending on your kids, you know what I'm saying? So let's say we're taking this course and this is what we're banking on. And then 2 of the kids land. And so now you got, you know, so you move to LA. We all know that moving to LA alone, you know, so what is that? Basically $500,000 for each
Something
kid
like
gets $500,000.
But by law, you don't get access to all that money, though, right? By law, you have to put some of it away.
Well, I don't know about the law. I don't know. But I know that first you got the 15% for the management. You got the 15% for the agent, 10 to 15, whatever the rate is.
So that's 30% right there.
Then you got taxes.
Right.
You know?
So that's another 40%.
So then let's say we're moving to LA, right? So this is the kids' money. Right. So if you don't have, you know, you see how it happens. You go, okay, that's why the kid then becomes, so the kids, they're 9 or 8 or whatever, they don't know anything. So now you cut to 5-10 years later, your kid's 18, 19 years old, and you've been living off your kid for 10 years. And your kid, you know, has everyone else in their ear.
Yep.
They're a star.
Yep.
They become 19, and you say, well, we don't really have any money. What do you do with my money, you know? Right. So you just see how because then the kids, I think, lose respect for the parents because the parents are living off of them. Versus like people like us, like in our situation. Let's say the kids do land it. They land it. They probably will stay in school, but for 13 weeks we just go out there and shoot the series. Then they come back home. You know, all the money that they earn will be their money. You put in the trust or put away. You know, there's no reason for us to touch that. And then when they get to be, if they have success, great. But whatever thing they have, it really is theirs. You know, it's not ours. It's theirs. They get to be 21. They want to go to college. They don't want to go to college. They have money to live off of, because it's a job. That's the other part. Yeah. Even with these kids, with the kids doing these courses, to memorize something and to this and that, you really start to say, wow, so these kids are memorizing 30 pages a day for 13 weeks. That's pretty, you know. And so it is I think it's good training for them. I'm sorry it takes so long, but no. I think the separation between the child stars and the parents, I think that's what happens. Like Will Smith, for instance, how he's doing it, where he can green light his kids whatever they want to do, you know, versus them having to get caught up and being dependent on the system, you know.
Well, I think at the end of the day, you don't want that Gary Coleman situation where he was estranged from his parents for many years until
all years, I think,
for the rest of his life.
Because I think what happened, he said they stole my money.
And they say we didn't. If we stole your money, how come we're living here? Why are we driving used cars? If we stole your money, where's the money? Because we're living in a modest house. We're driving used cars, so where's the money? And he couldn't understand that.
Well, but the question he's asking, where is the money? Where's my money?
That's true. Yeah. Yeah, what happened? But it goes back to
look at my bank account.
But it goes back to what you were saying, though. It's like, okay, 15% for a publicist, 15% for an agent. That's 30%. Government's going to take about 40%. So that's 70%. So if you made $100,000, you're left with $30,000. You know? Damn. You know. So, man, that's it.
The good old days here in this area when I was working in 92Q, and I would get a bonus check. And I remember that's the first time I was like, oh, I see how rich people hate on everybody. Because I think, like, let's say the bonus was $15,000 and you get a check for $8. You know, you just be like, or $7,200. Yeah. You'd be like, yo, it's supposed to be like $15,000. Yeah. Or even I think one time.
And what does your boss tell you? Well, it's $7,500 more than you had when you woke up this morning, right? That's the one they go with.
Well, you keep that to you. Yeah, I would just keep that inside myself.
Hey man, you brought up Miley Cyrus, man.
Inside myself.
Her new song, "Wrecking Ball." Have you seen the video to this, man?
I have seen this.
She's like performing fellatio on a sledgehammer. What is that?
Yes.
And she's naked in the video.
I know construction workers are all, you know, the whole week they've been going to work with, they had to calm down.
I don't understand, man. So I was watching Entertainment Tonight. They asked, apparently, Nancy O'Dell got a hold of Billy Ray Cyrus and asked him about it. And Billy Ray's response was, in summary, it was like, you know what? She could have had on a nun's habit. You know, the bottom line is the song's a smash. She could have been wearing anything. And the song's still a smash. So that part's not important. Man, and we've talked about this part before. I don't know if I could feel that way as a father if my daughter was doing what she did in that video, and then plus she's naked in the video. I mean, I don't know if I could take that as a dad, man.
Well, but I think, like we talked about before, Tony, I think the fact that we watched her grow up has everybody outraged. You know, Madonna did the same thing. You know, it's like
but Madonna was okay, I got you. But we didn't watch Madonna grow up though.
We didn't watch her grow up, right?
So we didn't give
Miley Cyrus is our daughter, like
you
said.
I got you.
But I think on the flip side, it's they're in the entertainment world.
Yeah.
And so for them, you know, the entertainment world, I think they definitely do have a different perspective. Some people, I think, will say morally it's different, but I think they really do. Based on what she even said, like we talked about last time, she, as manager of her brand, is obviously going for an effect. And it's working, but it bothers us because we want, we want the other girl back. Hannah Montana back.
Well, because our daughters worshipped this child, and now this child is, you know, ratchet, you know what I'm saying, for lack of a better word.
But I think
that's the part that has us outraged, is because our children watch this little girl and now she's doing all this other stuff, and that ain't cool. I think that's where it's at. So you're right on that point.
Yeah, but I think also from Olivia to our kids, Olivia older to Maria, they, because of our values, their assessment of it is different.
It's no big deal.
But they're grounded. We gave them what we gave them were values, so they're able to be probably more objective than kids who don't have that. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
And so even in perspective of them, their adulation of these people, it's kind of in perspective. Yeah, you know, like, you know, I idolize her, but like Sydney, my oldest, they loved Hannah Montana. They don't really like the Miley Cyrus thing. You know what I mean? It's kind of like they just decided, I don't really like that. They don't like Chris Brown. So they're not necessarily blindly following it.
Yeah.
So that's why I think that's why I'm not as bothered.
Okay. Okay. So we didn't tape last week, but one of the stories that I wanted to ask you about this week, and I know you heard about Stefan Marbury and the jump-off contract that he had with his little mistress on the side, and he promised her $900,000 to keep everything quiet, and then he gave her like $600,000. He quit paying her. She took him to court. Judge says, "Yeah, this is a binding contract, man. You owe her $330,000 plus interest." So they paid her, right? So I guess my how would you feel as a dad, man, if you found out that your daughter was a mistress, was a side piece, was a jump off?
In favor of the jump off. I think back to what we talked about, man. I'd be like, really, really, baby, you a whole jump off?
Yeah.
I mean, I think there's one part of me
because you can't, but you can't live her life.
No, well, the part, I think, again, the disappointment would be, baby, you're so much more than that. Mm-hmm. I didn't raise you to be no jump off.
Mm-hmm.
I think one of the lessons, or one of the things that, again, our kids, back to the values piece, is a lot of these people, a lot of the things that drive society now, it's money. Mm-hmm. And I don't think our kids are driven by money, because I think it's how we frame it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's my goal. That's my goal. My goal is, like you and I, we ain't gonna do. I mean, I would right now to help the family. For $1 million, I probably do anything. No, but what I'm saying is, I'm not driven by. You know what I mean? Never have been driven by money. Money has not been that. My family's happiness is more important than money to me.
But a lot of young people, and I'm not talking about young like your kids are young, but I'm talking about like teenagers, young adults. They're driven by fame. They're fame hungry. They want fame because they associate money with fame.
That's what I'm saying. But I think that's a lot of that is like, right, their values. So I think their values.
So what would be your reaction then? What would you tell one of your daughters if you found out they were somebody's jump off?
Yeah, I would just say, why would you play yourself so short? I would say, look, it's your life, and that's the theme I think I try to preach from even now. It's your life. So if you want to be a jump off, you can be a jump off. But I just would understand. I would say, why would you aim so low? I mean, to be a jump off, are you doing it for the money? You're a brilliant, intelligent woman. Why would you sell yourself so short as to be a jump off for somebody else? Well, Daddy, because I wanted the money. Okay, but you can get the money doing something. I mean, but again, that's the kind of conversation I probably would have.
Well, let me ask you this then: would he be welcome in your home?
No, in my home, no. He could be welcome to her home.
Yeah.
Why would he? No. I mean, I want to bring my. I don't even know what you call a guy who's
you're his jump off.
The man. The man is probably what you call him.
Daddy. That's my other daddy.
Yeah, no, you can't. No, he couldn't.
He couldn't come to the house.
Oh no.
Okay.
Come on, man.
So since we're talking about situations, you saw the picture a couple weeks ago. Robin Thicke, he got busted, right? I don't know what happened with him and Paula, but he had his hand. He didn't have his hand on that girl's ass. He had his hand in the crack of her ass, man.
Yes.
And he got busted because he took a picture in front of a mirror, and the mirror caught him, and like. So if you're that girl's father.
You crack me up with these father questions.
I mean, because it's like, well, see, my daughter's 29, my daughter's 18. Yeah. And so I'm not too much worried about my 29-year-old because she seems to have settled into her life okay, but my 18-year-old is still growing. And if I saw a picture of a man who had his hand in the crack of my daughter's ass, I think the tone, at the very least, the tone would be the same as if I found out she was a jump off.
Well, but I think, Tony, she's a grown girl though.
But I mean, just because you're grown. Now, having said this, AJ is 29.
Yes.
All right. But if my daughter is 21 or 22, yes, she's grown, but it don't mean she's figured it out yet.
Well, I guess, okay, if what can you really say, Tony? You can be mad. You
can say, why would you let him disrespect you like that? Why would you I know he's a superstar, and you're probably infatuated with him and all this kind of stuff like that, but why would you let him do that to you in public? Why would you let him do that to you? He's not, you shouldn't even let your husband do that to you in public. Put his hand in the crack of your ass.
I think it's too late. I think if you're a father, if you see somebody palming your baby's booty like that,
Yeah.
all you gotta be is like, damn, girl.
But that wasn't a palm. That was creasing. He was creasing that, man. he was creasing that ass.
So Tony, so we have two. I think we have different schools of thought. You would check her because you'd say,
gotta say
why
something.
would you allow yourself to be disrespected?
Yeah.
If she's 25, 26, right? I probably would be like, yeah, I would ask her what was up with the picture.
Okay.
I would want to get her perspective.
Now, would the conversation be different if she still lived with you as opposed to if she had her own crib?
Nope.
No.
Because I think again it's too late.
Okay.
If you let somebody do that, then you're gonna let somebody do this. And then do this, and we do that.
Next thing you know, Joe Torre has you on Cinemax.
Yeah. If you let that go on,
Yeah.
you're grown. You're grown. I mean, all
right. So let me throw the ultimate one at you then. What if you found out your daughter was doing porn?
Yeah. Yeah. I really would want to know why. I really would be like, I'm trying to understand.
And if she told you, because I want fame, I want to be famous, Dad, I want to be famous, and this is going to get me there the quickest, And so what do you say to that?
I would say there's a whole bunch of things you can do to be famous other than this. Mm-hmm. You're putting your health at risk. You're really it's just a very irresponsible, very dangerous game you're playing. Mm-hmm. And in search of fame, you could be a legitimate actor. You're talented. You could be a legitimate whatever and have fame. What is it really about? Mm-hmm. I would really try to find out, was she molested? Was there something that happened that would make her, because again, a pretty woman has a whole bunch of options. It's like when you see that, you remember back in the day, Tony, when we would, well, never mind.
I have no idea what you.
I'm always intrigued.
Yeah.
When I see a beautiful woman
mm-hmm.
selling herself short,
mm-hmm.
because a beautiful woman doesn't have to sell herself short and still get advantages. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So it's almost like, what happened? No one taught her the game. No one ever taught her value.
She's taking a shortcut.
She's taking a shortcut, an easy route. And the crazy part is, that ain't easy.
No, it's not easy.
An easy route is being a wife. I mean, as far as in a normal situation, an easy route is meeting a nice guy because you're fine.
Yeah.
Everybody wants a fine woman.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So why are you doing this? But it's usually self-esteem, though. That's usually the answer to that is they didn't have a daddy. Mm-hmm. They didn't have somebody that taught them the value of who they were, so they're taking the shortcut. Now, on the flip side, your daughter could be a freak.
Well, you know what? I was just gonna say,
that's an honest. If my daughter told me honestly she was just a freak, I could respect the answer. Because again, I would then at least understand.
So if you say, why do you do this to yourself? Why are you making these movies? You're putting yourself at risk, your health at risk, this, that, and the other. And she says, Dad, I'm a freak. You're gonna go, okay.
No, I'm gonna say if she's I'm a freak. I love sex. This is how I express myself. I believe that she launches into some whole like sexual, this is who I am thing, and it's real. Well, that's the answer. It's your life. It's your life. I would not live that life. You don't have to live that life. But
who do you think would freak out more though, you or Allison? Initially.
Well, I think we probably both. Allison would be disappointed the most. Mm-hmm. I would again. I think the first question. I think the bottom line question would be, and I wonder about it. I talk to people about it all the time. Can you want to be a stripper? Or can you want to be in that life and be normal? You know what I mean? I ask people all the time.
Well, before you were married, before you met Allison, and you were living here in St. Louis, and we were working together, and I can say this now, but you and we used to hang out with Terry Crouppen, and we used to go to lunch, as they say in St. Louis, on the east side. Yes. And we would go to a strip club, because that's where Terry wanted to go, right?
Yes.
And the strippers would come around, and you would quiz them.
Well, I asked him questions.
You would ask them questions.
Yes.
You know, you didn't want to lap dance. You wanted to know what, you know, how does your family feel? I mean, Mark would ask him these questions. It was like, he is who he is.
Questions like, is that always been like that? Interesting.
That is crazy, man. That is bananas. That's bananas.
No more crazy than us eating a buffet at a strip club.
What is this wing sauce? This is very tasty. It reminds me of something. It reminds me.
Sir. That's the wrong. Sorry, sir. That's the wrong sauce.
That was the wrong bowl. What? Wait, what? What happened? Oh man. All right. Well, we'll wrap it up. Man.
What about you, Tony? You asking me all these questions. Same questions. You find out one of your daughters.
You know me, man. I would lose my damn mind. You know I would.
Who would be most crushed? You or the wife?
Oh, Shoshana would be more upset easily because.
What would you say?
Me? I would say, what the hell's wrong with you? What's your problem? What are you thinking? Well, I want fame. And I'd be like, bleep fame. Look at what you're doing to yourself. Look at what you're doing to yourself. No one's ever, because you can't do this forever. So no one's going to respect you. They're going to say, yeah, that hoe used to make movies and shit. I know her. Stuff like that. That's what they're going to say. And if she were a side piece, what would I say? I wouldn't be happy. Would he be welcome in my house? Hell no. No.
Which one would be more hurt, side piece or stripper?
Oh, stripper. Because at least a side piece, there's an attempt to, keep it hush hush. It fail as most people do to keep it hush hush. But stripper, hell, you're butt naked on the stage with men hopefully throwing dollar bills at you. If you're not, it's like
What if your daughter? What if she was?
And then the other thing is though too, if she's a stripper, is she on the day shift or the night shift? Because there's a difference, right?
What if she really was just a stripper? Oh, actually, you asked me about porn. So yeah, See, stripping and porn, I guess, are two different animals.
Two completely different animals.
Yeah. So
although some people
tend porn,
some people tend to lump them together. Porn is a whole different thing.
Yeah, that one. See, that one. I guess at the end of the day, I guess what I'm saying is, the disappointment would definitely be there. But again, they have to live their own lives. Mm-hmm. But yeah, there would be a sense of, we failed. If they hit you with that logic, what I mean? Like, I want fame.
Yeah.
If your daughter looks you bust her out, she's in porn and she's like, I want fame. I think there is a part of it that'd be like, I failed. So the discussion, what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying is their life, in that it's like, wow, like not only is your premise weak and not thought through, but you spend a lot of money and a lot of time for you to get to that because I want fame. Wow, what I mean? It would inside, but then again, at the same time, I would try to bring her around, not by tough love or judgment. I'd probably try to bring her around by love.
Yeah. Have you ever heard of iHeartRadio?
If she broke it all the way down to just porn,
yeah,
you're just like, well, the good news is ain't much further you can go.
No.
Like, you're what?
Yeah,
a plumber. I mean, it's not like anything you could be. What?
Man, but it's like she did porn, and then like I don't know if you have to accept it, but decides what she's gonna do. There ain't much you can do about it. But if she's at your house and she's on the phone outside, and you go outside to take out the trash, and you're on the phone. Well, book me for the anal on the week of. It's like, I'm like, oh hell no! You got to get out of here with that. All right, don't bring that to the house. All right, that's your business.
No anal in my house.
Go sit in your car and make that phone call. Don't sit on my porch with that.
Matter of fact, don't sit on nothing in this house.
All right then. That is 2 dads and 6 daughters. Man, I'll put you through your hoops today, man. You jumped through some hoops today, man.
Thanks, man. Thanks for that conversation, Tony. What?
You're gonna go, Allison, I don't want them acting, I don't want them dancing, I don't want them doing anything.
Yes, you've pretty much failed there. If your kids want fame.
But you know when for sure you have failed if you don't give a damn.
Yeah.
Clearly, so we'll leave it right there. 2 Dads and 6 Daughters is our weekly show where we talk about, we got 3 daughters each, and we talk about them in pop culture and how it relates to them, and hopefully you enjoy the show. If you do, you can give it a thumbs up. Subscribing helps a lot too. Puts us in the front row.
The front row.
We will be back again next week, hopefully, with another show. And until then, take it easy. I'm Tony Scott, and that is Mark Clark. 2 Dads and 6 Daughters.
Good evening.